Why would a horse need medication during a competition? And they all work hard. Some of them are going to ship to these competitions, almost all of them. Some of them it's a short trip, others it's a long, arduous trip. And some of them are going to compete very hard, and others it's going to be a pretty relaxing weekend with a couple of classes here and there and no big deal. So it depends upon the situation and the horse. But one of the things that we have grasped now over the last 10 years or so is that a lot of the conditions we put horses in go ahead and cause problems for them. So 10, 15 years ago, there were very elaborate models on causing gastric ulceration in the horse so they could study medications that treated it. And there were these, you gave them lots of Banamine, you did all this stuff. And then a really clever guy at University of Tennessee kind of figured this out for us. And he said, well, actually, all you need to do to give a horse gastric ulcers is ride it, exercise it. You feed it grain and you don't turn it out 24/7. You stall it up like most of us do at least part of the day. And then, like I say, you've exercised it, you've given it grain, and you stalled the horse up some. Okay, you have created gastric ulcers in anywhere from 40 to 70% of the horses. That's all it takes. So obviously the lesson is, and these are the things that you see with gastric ulcers. They're very common in horses competing. The harder they compete, the more ulcers they get. And people think, well, this is the stress on them, and it has something to do with it. But it's often a mechanical issue of, the horse has obviously the lungs and the chest, the diaphragm separates the abdominal cavity. When you gallop a horse, then that abdominal cavity, which is full of fluid and hay, slams up against the diaphragm, okay, and that kind of squishes the stomach in there, and acid spills all over the place, okay, and it goes up into areas of the stomach where it was not intended to, and then you get stomach ulcers that look like this. So that's how it happens, and so it's common in a horse that's exercising. So that's why all the rules, FEI and USEF, AQHA, USEA, all of them universally, and there's one exception to this, somebody can tell me which discipline it is, that they all allow anti-ulcer medications, okay? And they all allow Gastrogard, ranitidine, and cimetidine. Okay, so the common ones, which is Gastrogard, omeprazole, okay, Prilosec for us, ranitidine, which is Zantac in the human arena, and then cimetidine, which is Tegament, thank you, in the human arena. So, anybody know the discipline that is the only one that doesn't allow anti-ulcer? American Endurance. Okay, that's the group that doesn't.